Okay, so Zero. Really big fan, personally, just because I watched a lot of the fantasy thing. You know, I'm all about the fantasy and the medieval shit and the magic, and I'm like, oh, there's dragons in this, and I love the character because he is that person. So if you're already about this kind of worldscape, he comes in and, you know, a teenager gets magically transported into a fantasy world. It's every story ever as far as that anime genre goes.
And he immediately assumes it's a video game.
Yes.
So we're already at Groundhog Day meets Sword Art Online.
Exactly.
From the start.
And he is just completely rolling with it. There's no issues. He's like, oh, okay. And they even give you like a little bit of weird pseudo video game knowledge. Like, he gets mugged and then he's like, well, I guess I can fight. Is this my attack? And he like pushes someone.
Yeah, the joke is like he deludes himself and like, oh, I'm the main character clearly, and I'm just waiting for like things to work out. Like,
how's it gonna go? And things start rolling. He meets some interesting characters, but then things start taking a turn. And the real plot of the whole show is that he is not the main character. He's just a person in this world, and he gets killed because he's not very strong. He's just a regular person.
Yeah, in this world, everybody's a fucking monster.
Yeah, laser beams and, swords and ice spells, and he's got his ramen, he's not a...
Yeah, like, it is a good joke that he just has a bag of groceries because he got transported while, leaving the convenience store. Yeah. And so, for the first 3 episodes, it's really charming that he just has, a bag of groceries with him at all times.
It's always here. But, yeah, every time he dies, he comes back to life. That's the whole thing.
From, to a save point. Yes. And he retains the memories, yada, yada.
And then, so you're like, okay, cool. And then he sort of becomes okay with this, but what's really great about the show is they give you this honest interpretation of what that would be like for a person to go through.
Yeah, he suffers for this. It's not like let me kill myself and redouble my efforts. It's very much no, he gets taken to death kicking and screaming and it messes him up.
Oh yeah.
And that's what we really appreciate about it is he's as mixed bag as this show is, he's a very interesting character, in the sense of
God, yeah.
He's got this machismo, but he's a really weak character in this fantasy world.
And he kind of knows it, but he plays with it. He uses it. I don't know. He's actually a very thrifty character. He uses everything he can.
Yeah.
And it's because he has nothing, and and they actually just start to dig into some of his flaws and this and that. And there are obviously other series that have characters with flaws and shit like that, but they show not only his flaws, but they show him just sort of deciding not to go that way. You know what I mean? It's very much when he'll go down the wrong path and die, and then he'll go a different way. And in that, it's not so much the way, the same things happen, it's just how he does it. So you see his character flexing to be like, okay, I gotta think differently this time, or I'm just gonna end up in that same place.
His plot arc struggles.
Yes.
In the way that a character would, because he's dying and coming back. We get to see the progression of his arc struggles and has to repeat itself.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting story concept. Mm-hmm. A very Memento or Groundhog Day.
Exactly.
Which is a cool concept to see in an anime.
And what was also really good that they nailed was they never he is immortal, I mean, essentially, but you never feel like the character is immortal.
Because his mental state is not immortal.
Yes.
He doesn't just come back the same person every time.
Exactly.
When he sees all of his friends killed or himself tortured, he comes back damaged.
Yes.
And grows from it. It's kind of, it's both, but it's good to see the damage there.
Mm-hmm. It's good, and that brings us into sort of the weirdness level, I guess. This is pretty stock standard, to be honest. I mean,
it's pretty anime trope.
There's some, splashy blood, and you're like, okay, fine, but there's also, the only thing that I'd say would be, kind of off-putting is some deep cuts of tragedy, just kind of...
Yeah, they have some of the very much, there's tiny little Japanese maid girl characters that just get brutalized.
Oh, yeah. There's
or
stuff.
Brutalized things.
Yeah,
it's very much they get both. which it's a fair anime thing. It's not too bad.
Oh, no, nothing felt overpowered.
Yeah,
and even on some of the costume designs and stuff, I was like, thank God, because that's always really easy to overdo.
Yeah.
The main super princess character is wearing weird fairy clothes, but they're still clothes.
Characters aren't over-sexualized in this, really. I mean, they have the main, the first villain is, a super overly busty, assassin.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly,
It works
kinda
with her character.
It kind of works. It works because she's the only one.
Yes,
like it's like
exactly.
you never see another character that's
Yeah.
just like an object like that.
Yeah. So yeah.
I do have to say, like, on his, like, machismo character, like, it's kind of, like, this is one of the few series I felt like that was an endearing, like, character trait, because it's a part of his overconfidence,
Right.
like, and he gets that kicked out of him eventually, but also there's this really weird faction where there's a faction, like, so basically the princesses, it's like 5 princesses competing to be, like, the ruler of the land, and one of the princess groups is just like has none of that shit. It's like an old like sword guy who lives
Your
tragic
badass
past.
old guy, yeah, exactly.
It's the princess is like a martial, like just military prowess like character, and her like confidant is like a trans like boy who like has magic.
Exactly.
And they don't just
also
like,
a furry, like
and like they have the thing where like like all of the characters always make fun of all the other princesses for like, oh, you're gonna make yourself like pout, or like you're not gonna be beautiful. And this like one group, none of that comes up at all. And it's just like very much like, yeah, no, like the creators like didn't make a conscious decision like, no, this is ethically what we should do to like push like like culture forward. They were just like, no, this culture definitely doesn't deal with that bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting to see.
It was interesting, yeah, because he understood that he had bad run-ins, he had bad experience to them and good experience to them after he learned what makes sense and what is appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, and they show that a lot of like little elements and powers, like the one badass martial princess can actually like she just has a power where she has a lie detector, and like that's just so like. It makes one of the interactions make so much sense why it didn't work for him, and makes the other one make so much more sense because, like, in this one, she just basically keeps calling his bluff because she can read.
She can just know.
Like, she just knows. So it's good.
And then she's got a magic sword that can fucking cut like distance, like has no like
100 sword strike.
Yeah, there is no
man.
like limit to my range, but like it does get just completely countered like. So, like, they have this old, like, sword dude, and they just completely fall in love with him.
I don't even remember. Did they really give him the blade?
Literally, she's like, you can hold on to this for now. And, like, they just hand the, like, magic sword off to him because they're like, no, we like him more because he's a man character.
They dump it
and we made him, like, a badass. And it's like, you could have just made her the badass, but, like, it's just a sloppy, like, I like Wilhelm, the, like, he's like an old man butler who, like, was this master swordsman who lost his wife to, like, this white whale that they're killing. It's a cool plot.
White whale is cool.
But, like, it's just, like, you could have just made that her. You just fell in love with this character and handed all of her agency off.
It does give them the ability to make him a pawn later, but then he also gets the mercenary pawn, which he could have just used just as well. So it wasn't
definitely
essential.
Just like it's like they didn't think that like through very well.
It's great. You can definitely tell because in the later arc after the White Whale, they give him this overpowered monster, and there's like that one scene where they're like, "Oh, there's a cultist, not any fucking more." Like he's just like, "Ah!" And you're like, "Whoa!"
Which is even stranger because like at the very beginning, like again, like. We'll talk about why these problems might exist, but like at the beginning of the series too, they built up this like super knight character who's supposed to be the best swordsman in the entire land.
Wait, was it the purple hair kid?
Yeah, no, it was the red haired guy.
Oh right!
Who just even like more like right off they add 3 more characters that are basically the same thing as him and just forget about him. And it's like no, like it's
because
fair.
they decided they actually wanted to make that type of character a villain to him, and so they were like, let's just change his hair color. Like
so, there's like 3 characters that are the same character that they just were like, oh shit, we wanted this character to be like this, so we'll just make another one and get rid of that.
They all have the same armor, right? It's okay, but what it does is it's a touch of world building, but that's not really the point of the show.
That's the thing. Like we look at this show and it has that Fate Zero or Unlimited Blade Works thing where it's like, no, it's supposed to fit into like a larger universe of like light novels and like drama CDs and like video games.
Yeah, so it doesn't have a huge...
It's very much a partial story.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a lot of guts to keep it up. And the thing is they knew that, so they avoided that. I said slice of life because in a sense this almost is because the setting is ridiculous, but the only goal of the series is he just wants to like tell this girl he likes her. Technically, that's technically what he's trying to do, and he gets torn through all sorts of ways to do it, but then they give you the most like, I don't know, Miyazaki like little ending there, and you're like, wait, what? And you're like, oh, I actually did want this, I guess. Like, it pulls you in a lot of different places. But we were talking about it, like, it won Best Anime of 2016 because I think it was very much like Oscar bait in the sense there was a little bit of this, there was a little bit of that. Like, it could be equally enjoyed by lots of different. It definitely was a grab bag.
Well, very much like I feel like they're like you're talking about like, you know, Oscar bait. Like, no, it's got the girl who leapt through time. It's got time travel.
Yeah,
it's like
we can't time travel. They always
girl
win.
who leapt through time.
God, it's so that movie is so good.
It's good, but it's just like, no, if it's time travel in an anime, like, it just gets it for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's because you build more interaction when you go back over the same idea.
Yeah,
and you don't have.
It's very much like, you know, getting a lot done. Like, you focus on a moment rather than like, I mean, kind of, but
in a sense, yeah. Whatever. The art's okay. I mean, they definitely didn't have too much money, but they definitely used it sensibly. Like, I didn't feel like it was lacking.
They have a good sense of like presence or like atmosphere in there.
Yeah, there were
like,
a lot of backgrounds.
Like what is it? Like one of the things I found like really impressive was like when they did like some just like political, like, you know, super into the fantasy of this world thing, it felt really grand and it felt powerful. It was like, you know, like using the music and kind of the art together and like what the characters like, they were able to build up good moments.
The music was definitely good.
Yeah, true.
And they did the right thing and made sure the good song, 'cause you know, when you're making anime and you have a couple songs for both seasons, you know which one's better. And they put that one for the second season. I'm like, thank you. That was, that's the episode. Like, I think it's just because the first one, they didn't want to come off just a little bit dark because it is kind of dark.
Yeah.
And the second season, like, now let's get into it. It's, tension, emotions. Yeah. And, definitely a lot of drama.
Yeah, I mean, the dramatic moments fell a little flat, like, not flat on me, but I was just kind of like, this is stock, like, stuff. Like,
yeah, he is kind of bubbling. Like, 'cause he is showing the full range of emotion. He's happy, he's sad, he's, you know, like, angry. He does everything, but they are the emotions of an incredibly average person.
Yeah,
like,
and,
so
like, it's in a fantasy setting, but he's, like, a really normal dude, so, like, it just, like, they kind of pass each other, like, they like, never, like, mesh up. It's always, like, one kind of just misses the other.
Because
like,
they have that noble atmosphere of the Personalities Knights. They're, like, one of them, like, beats him half to death because he insulted his honor, and he's like, no, you want to be intense? Let me show you what being intense is like.
Yeah.
Like,
but it kind of falls flat because, like, he's a normal-ass dude and he, like, just gets away with it.
Exactly.
Like, he gets the shit kicked out of him,
so,
but, but he just, like,
difference.
I don't know, like,
they don't
he's the main character and is going to grow from it, so we're just kind of like, I guess he, like, suffered there, but, like...
Yeah.
And then there's, like, you know, the, like, I don't know, seeing a character in a maid dress get brutalized, to me, I'm just like... like, you're really going for, like, the, like, you know, easy bait here.
You're saying something. You're saying something.
And it's a cute, like, the one where he does give up is cute. Like, that's a dramatic moment. Like, it definitely, like, touches a little bit better there.
And the Rem arc, which is the filler arc in the middle, essentially wasn't wasteful. Like, that's the thing.
It was okay.
It definitely was there to, you know, just stretch it out a little bit.
I mean, I skipped those 2 episodes, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely just hit those 2 episodes, and I was like... I'm just gonna skip on through.
It was good. So I will speak to their... No, they just fight dogs, okay? They don't really do anything.
Yeah, like, no, I like, it was like, there were, like, I mean, like, I definitely hit that, like...
You're so confused because you think an assassin's at the house, you think, like, there's lasers, you think somebody killed each other, you think there's a disease, you think there's a shaman.
Once he goes back and dies too many times, I did hit, like, a minute where I'm just like, I'm gonna skip 2 episodes, get to an action episode, and I'm just gonna, like, if I can't get back in, I'll go back, but, like, I got bored, and I was like, I'm gonna just jump ahead.
The whole thing, he just got bit by a dog, like, and it was okay, like, in the sense of, it made him, because he's so dramatic, and then he steps back, and he's like, oh, and then other people's perspectives, he's like, oh, okay, so it helps a little bit, but, like, it wasn't garbage. It wasn't unwatchable.
No, I got back into it, like, you know,
it's fine.
I think it's fair. Like, I don't know. It's better that I got to, like, you know, experience the story of the anime rather than just like give up. Yeah. And if you gotta skip if you gotta skip something, you gotta skip something. I mean, there's a reason we suggest people watch the JoJo movie compilations and not the whole series.
Exactly.
Like, and we love JoJo to death.
If I'm showing someone JoJo, I'm like, I literally just go to season 4 and be like, here's a video of Star Platinum doing his thing. If you don't think that's cool, you're not gonna like the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So jumping ahead's totally, it works.
So yeah, I check it out.
It's interesting.
It didn't do a lot for me, like, on, like, that personal, like, I appreciated it, but, like, I wasn't, like, super excited. Like, I wasn't like, wow, that, like, really, like, changed my life. But it was okay.
It was good. It was
And I
good.
see why other people like appreciate it.
It was a nice
It's just
taste.
not like.
I'm watching so many just really gutsy fighting stuff. So
Fair enough.
lately, I was just like, oh no, this is a refreshing.
Yeah,
change
I
of
guess
pace.
with like since we've been so Ninja, like if it's not like a straightforward like fighting one that I can just kind of break down and appreciate,
Yeah.
and it's not just doing something like ballistically like
Exactly.
groundbreaking with the art and like
Yeah.
the style.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, no, this is a
this
really
feels-
stock standard anime.
But it's the thing. That it's a good stock standard anime.
no,
it didn't even have a manga, right? So it was like, it's pretty. I was like, okay,
That's true. That's true. I did not have that option of just like it's like the Fate ones. Like I watched both of those and I wasn't really happy about it.
Yeah.
But like
when you think about
I had
it,
literally no other way to do
yeah,
it.
you know, the
so.
second one's based off of like a hentai game, so you're like, wow, that's pretty impressive. They scraped together that much there.
God, the first one, like it's just let's just steal Spike Spiegel, throw him in like
Leather, more
yeah.
leather, more, and then
It was
literally
just so dumb. It was like I hate that I watched it, but like at the same time,
The
I
animation
definitely
was
get
so
why
good.
people did
The
it. Like
animation
I'm
was
just
so
like,
good.
no, the fights are pretty okay,
my
but
God.
like it's pretty garbage.
it's shiny.
But anyway, it's fine. It's good. It's solid.
Yeah. Middle of the road, C+.
C plus.
Which is a lot better than half the shit we're watching these days.
True.
All right.